And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, bienvenidos, baby, bienvenidos. Welcome to something a little bit different. It's been a while, but welcome to the StarCraft Evolution League number 17. The new season is upon us. And again, happy holidays. It is here the 27th year of December. We're nearing New Year's already, and I hope you're ready for some more StarCraft. You know what, we may have the holidays, people might be taking a bit of a break, so are we in a sense. We have been a little bit leaner when it comes to our broadcast, but StarCraft still continues, and we still have daily content ready for you. Let's go, baby, let's go. But shout out to all those in the chat as well. Let's stay eyes down, subscribing for 36 months, 3 years of support, baby. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, shout out to Getcha for getting the first Quacker. Shout out to Mr. Mintzler. We have Avex in the chats, of course, Avex, map maker extraordinaire. And we also have Selensvard subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much for all the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the emotes, and hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy it, baby. Oh, as we are here in StarCraft Evolution League, for those that are maybe a little bit unaware, for those that are maybe a little bit newer to the channel and haven't been watching for the past over a year at this point, but StarCraft Evolution is a mod in SC2. It is a mod that has been slowly gaining traction over the past 2 years, of play. It is a mod that does put together StarCraft 2 versus Brood War. It is not a carbon copy of Brood War. I think initially it was, but over time, over the past 2 years, we have had very consistent patches to adjust numbers, to balance, of course, both game modes. From my understanding, I believe there's still a big balance patch in the works. The reasoning for this is because, of course, we just got a patch with SE2, right? We just got a StarCraft 2 patch with the maps, with just changing a lot of the races, changing a lot of the units, changing a new map pool as well. And I believe StarCraft Evolution is now working on a patch, on a patch for the mod, to try to adjust and try to rectify any kind of issues that may be taking place. And there are tournaments like this to kind of showcase like any major issues or anything of that nature, bearing in mind that the new season has begun and the StarCraft Evolution Championship is going to be taking place in the first half of next year in 2026. Oh boy, so SC Evo does continue. I will say that, again, it has been gaining traction. This mod has been gaining traction over time, and most recently, thanks to the Chijik tournament, thanks to the MilkiCow event, which was now a couple of months ago, some more players were kind of indoctrinated into SC Evo. A lot of the Koreans have been getting involved. Players like Rogue is more of a recent addition, Cure, relatively recent, Solar, relatively recent as well. So it's been really cool to see players like Solar, like Cure, like Rogue kind of dip their toes in and actually get interested, actually enjoy the mod and play a little bit further. It's one of those things where unfortunately it has been captivating a lot of the Koreans, but less so the Europeans. Like, we have some players from the CIS region specifically that have been enjoying the game, but outside of that we haven't really had too much interest from the greater European scene. Like, we have had players like Geralt and Skillus. They come to mind as probably some of the more prominent European players, to be honest, like Geralt, Skillus, like Zardiant, Rake, for example. But again, the Europeans that can be in SC Evo are few and far between, and it's mainly Koreans. And we'll see if that changes in the near future. This is also where SC Evo events like the StarCraft Evolution Championship with their invites, I think would actually be they would actually benefit from inviting Europeans more than Koreans, just because it's a way to force them to play and maybe even have them enjoy it. It was a couple of days ago actually where Lambo he actually made a video talking about his run in the MilkiCow Chijik event, and he was very transparent about the fact that he had no idea what SC Evo was. He had no expectations, but he actually got third place. He got third place in that tournament, and he was like, mate, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I didn't know what the races were. Like, I was just freestyling, and hey, I got third place. and he at least he expressed that he enjoyed the game, that he enjoyed the mod for what it was. Does this mean that he will spend more time in the mod? Well, now is the time. What I mean by that, this time last year we saw SC Evo rise in popularity. We also saw a lot of 2v2 tournaments and also 3v3s and 4v4s. Those events did rise in popularity as well. Why is that? We're in the off season, right? We're in the off season of EWC, so during the off season this is the best time for players to start to play other game modes, and they do, right? Whether it's team games, whether it's other mods like StarCraft Evolution, now is the time before we get back into the season of EWC, assuming of course that we do have the Esports World Cup for StarCraft next year. I think the assumption is that that is going to be the case. Do know there's still one game to be announced and confirmed for EWC, but regardless, like, now would be the time where players are kind of stretching their wings and willing to play other game modes. For now though, we are jumping into the quarterfinals. Just watch that Lambo video. It's pretty I've been pretty busy with my own work. Yeah, fair enough. A lot of people getting involved. Well, I mean, that's why I've been expecting this for a while. Lambo, he was an invite, right? He was an invite for the tournament. He would not have played the game if he was not invited for the Chijik event. So I do think that for the StarCraft Evolution Championship, it would benefit Hyper One to almost solely invite Europeans, just to kind of like, you know, just to spread the word, and once more Europeans get involved, then others will follow suit. I think at this point, like, the Korean scene is tapped out in the sense that, like, I mean, like, sure, you can invite like Gumiho, you can invite who am I thinking of, like Bonnie, for example. Like, there are a couple of Koreans that haven't really, or Maru, I guess, that haven't really played StarCraft Evolution that you can try to like drag in with invites, but I feel like it would benefit more to try to branch out into another region and expand the player base that way. But at the same time, it depends kind of what he wants, right? Like, I would say that would benefit the mod when it comes to outreach, when it comes to reaching more names, reaching more players, and expanding the brand, or just getting more word out there. But if his interest is like, I just want, like, you know, the best Koreans to play, and he invites like Amaru, like Hero, stuff like that, then, you know, it depends what the goal is, right? Depends what the goal would be. But regardless, we're getting into our bi-weekly tournament. StarCraft Evolution League is now a semi-regular event. Again, was on a bit of a hiatus, especially during the off-season, but now we are back. We're jumping to the quarterfinals. It is going to be a PvT between Classic and MilkiCow. Here we go. We just spoke about some of the Europeans that do compete in this, and I did mention that the CIS region has been the region that has kind of stepped in and embraced SEVO the most, to the point where they run their own tournaments. Like, I said this before, but there are a lot of team game tournaments, a lot of 2v2 show matches, a lot of 2v2 events in StarCraft Evolution, but solely on the CIS region side of things. I don't think we've had many Korean or just Open Cup 2v2 tournaments, even though the game isn't really balanced with 2v2. Like, there's been a lot of team games, for example, a lot of 1v1s. It's been really cool to see them kind of embrace StarCraft Evolution the way that they have, and now we're jumping into it. Game 1 is going to be on Title Citadel. Let's go. Now, getting into this, I will say that Classic, in my mind, is currently the best player in StarCraft Evolution, but at the same time, I also understand that it's been a while, right? Like, we have had a bit of a break, we have had a bit of a lull when it comes to StarCraft Evolution tournaments, when it comes to taking a break from StarCraft Evolution Masters, for example, Code A, Code S. So we'll see how Classic can handle himself here, jumping back into SC Evo. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself. It is MilkiCow. Here we go. You guys are jumping into our TVP. Bearing in mind, it's going to be StarCraft 2 Protoss up against Brood War Terran. It's Christmas time. Look at this. And thanks to the holidays, we do have some lovely Santa hats here on our workers. Oh, do love to see it. Again, this is something that they do every now and then. I think it's for the StarCraft anniversary where they have party hats. They have party hats, and I think they may even explode in confetti, right? Question mark. But they at least have party hats. Here for the holidays. The Santa hats. Let's go. Let's go. Fun fact, we casted a show match yesterday. There weren't any Santa hats, right? Like, I don't think there were any Santa hats in yesterday's tournament. Happy holidays. For now, we are going to be going CC first out of MilkiCow, going CC first into a later Rax, who do see Classic instantly harassing as best he can, being an annoyance here on the low ground. Did scout the greedier build. Speaking of, we do have a gate expand out of Classic, And typically Classic does enjoy being the aggressor early on. I mean, I say early on, for those that are maybe unfamiliar with the meta of StarCraft Evolution, aggression is the name of the game. It's a little bit unfortunate, but at least for the past couple of months, if not the past year, yeah, maybe past year, we have had shorter games, and longer macro games have been a little bit rarer, unfortunately. I think I would say that in PvT we've seen longer games the most, if my memory serves correctly, but we'll see as the meta shifts. And again, we're still expecting like a new patch on the horizon as well, but often we do have more aggressive games. Here we go. For now, again, we're on Title Citadel. I actually didn't quite check the new map pool. True. One of my favorite parts about StarCraft Evolution is that we do feature some older Brood War maps that are ported over. It's always great to see that whenever we see some of those older maps, like I almost said Near Violet Square. God, it's been so long. Not Near Humanity. What's the, the island map? That one though. Jesus. Hold on, now it's bothering me. Now I have to double check. StarCraft Evolution League number 3. God, it's near something. Number 5? Not Paradox. Paradox is the other great one. Number 9? Neo Isles of Siren. There we go. Jesus. It's been too long, Babby. Bring it back. Neo Isles of Siren. For the time being, though, it is going to be mech. We do have the initial academy here, straight into the armory, into our additional factories. So it is going to be mech at a MilkiCow, getting to his more vulture-esque composition to begin with. Meanwhile, back at home, Classic opening up Stargate. Stargate opening into the Oracle. The Oracle's going to be moving out to scout, to harass, and to get vision on what the Terran is up to confirm the mech. Now distracted by the Vulture. Vulture is going to be sniped. Oracle moves out. As we are going to be opening up Goliath. Okay, true, makes sense. I believe the Goliath is locked behind the armory, so armory into Goliath does make sense as an opener to defend against said Oracle. The Stargate was scattered earlier as Oracle makes its way in. Goliath is still on the way and about to pop out in a couple of seconds. Turret is halfway done as well, but SCVs are going to go down, getting into 2 SCVs. Gets 2, gets 3. Yeah, 3 SCV kills. The Oracle does pull out. And so far, nice damage. 3 SCVs alongside the Vulture and a full scout of the main. Now Classic is aware of the mech. He's aware of the mech, containing his opponent, getting his own 3rd. Building up his economy. Thermi Express, I remember this being a case when I was around. For EU, time zone was always an issue. Yeah, Euthermal. I know he very much so is very fond of StarCraft Evolution, for sure. Whether he runs an event in the future, hard to say. But I think he'd be willing to. I know that right now his focuses are currently on 2v2s. For those who don't know, the new 2v2 League is going to be starting up in January, next month. Yes, Classic for now just looking to contain his opponent. Blink is not yet done, but is going to be waiting out here just to catch any kind of attempted move out. Do you see MilkiCow still taking up in a lot of different directions? We have siege mode being done now to set up and defend. Spider mines are on the way. We have our initial Goliaths just to maintain, just to defend against the Oracles, but oh, brutal supply block. And MilkiCow, he's just going to be stuck here at home, and Classic rushing into the gold. This is the scariest thing about Title Citadel in TVP. This is applicable to SC2 and applicable to SC Evo, is that if the Protoss player is able to gain map control on this map, bam, they have the advantage of having a gold base as well. So it's a boosted kind of map control, a boosted economy for the Protoss player, or for the player that does have that map control. Diving into the main base, picks up the tank, and tank goes down. Army's out of position, going for the stasis traps. Oh my god. Ooh, stasis goes off. No major connection, but again, the Sorkers, they still trade well. And remember, we can afford these trades. Remember, the goal base is on the way. Picking up 4 SCVs. Oof. A massive shot here towards the end. And MilkiCow, he is holding, but he's trading on 2 bases. Meanwhile, that gold is almost done. And then Classic can get into his massive gateway composition, his mass swarm toss. Remember, no gases here at the 3rd base. We shouldn't see any gases at the 4th base either. Just purely mineral income from mass charge lots. Which is what you want against mech. But if you remember, this was the same criticism that we had about Title Citadel that we also had about Missing You Today. Was just the goal base advantage. Missing You Today was more extreme because there were 2 goal bases. True, like those was even more extreme. That's MilkiCow. He's gonna be able to break out. Does claim his 3rd. Goal base is not getting saturated. As Classic does get a 5th. You're not getting up to 5 bases. Ay. The warpins are commencing, and it's going to be a tough hold. Now, SimCity is going to be a big factor here. I love how spread eagle this eBay is, by the way. It's ay. The floating eBays, let's go. He's trying to wall up, trying to reduce surface area, trying to create choke points here for spider mines and for the tanks. Oh, the tanks are too far back, though. Tanks are out of range. Prism into the main. No turrets. Yeah, no turrets. No defensive ring. Zels hit the mineral line. And MilkiCow, he reacts with his vultures and with the Goliaths. Yeah, he reacts with everything. Tanks, they hold their own. It's also major damage. And Zels, can they get on top of the tanks? They can. They're going to be able to get 2, 3 tanks going down. Ay. Massive pickoffs, down to 2 tanks left. Zell warping into the main, catching more reinforcements, getting another tank. Another tank goes down. And another 2 more tanks falling. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. Ooh, the warping is going to be denied. Nice denial. Zell also wreaking havoc, getting 10 SCVs, picking up a Goliath. Warpins are going to be delayed. This is going to give MilkiCow some time, but again, the tank count is so low. Only 2 tanks. Meanwhile, we have a 7th base. We have a 7th Nexus on the way. And again, MilkiCow cannot do anything about it. Like, he cannot move out, he cannot break out, he's stuck at home. Typically in StarCraft 2, the Bio-Terran player could go for drop play, could go for drops, force recalls, force back some warpins. But here in StarCraft Evolution, while going into mech, this is a very immobile composition. You could try to go for vulture run-bys and vulture counterattacks, but to do so, you initially need a secure defensive position with tanks, and the tank count has been stifled time and time again. Speaking of vulture run-bys, finally, we do have a breakout. Vultures, they try to make their way out, but it feels too late. Only 2 vultures. It does drag the entire army back home. This does give MilkiCow some breathing room, so he has some time to recover. He's building up his tanks up to 6. Getting him to 6 tanks. Thankfully, the majority of the wall is still up and running. Ooh, but Classic, he can avoid the wall. Again, here on Title, there are these rocks that you can open up. Oh. Shatters the lone vulture. Do you have a minefield? But this still is a very open area. Classic is maxed. Mothership is on the way. The minefield is going to buy time for the army to rotate. Lights are rotating over. So far, decent tank connections. Classic is about to give it the still a lot of spider mines though. He's baiting them out. Ooh. Yeah, one does connect. Massive tank shots. Oh my god. Yeah, tanks, they just break through that zealot line. I mean, there are enough zealots left. He's getting on top of the tanks, just barely, and he will clean up every single tank. Yeah, there is enough. Charge, I'll say, just annihilate those tanks. Again, we had a decent line of defense here. We had some decent tank shots and some spider mines, but it was still not enough. And remember, we have the insta remax. Ooh, has no anti-air. Yeah, no anti-air. Free damage on the tanks. GG gets called, and Classic takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Classic does take a lead. And again, I will say that the outcome and how this game did turn out and pan out was more unique to Title Citadel. Again, because of the extra goal base that there is on this map, it does mean that whoever has map control, Classic in this sense, does have an even greater economic advantage and has even more to work with as a result, with faster expansions and with more and more zealots as well. So this is one of the more brutal maps to play a TVP on, and Classic does come out with a win. GG. GG, well played. Classic takes the lead, and now it's going to be on MilkiCow to determine, does he commit to Brood War or does he switch back to SE2? Here we go. And we have the answer. It looks like he's switching to StarCraft 2. Just catching up with the chat. The little hat's eyes, beautiful. I mean, nudge for you. I mean, one day, if the Ducklings, if we grow a little bit more, then maybe. But I'm sure, as you know, currently we're tapped out when it comes to tournaments and when it comes to our casting, to the point where we have kind of dialed it back. But we don't really have room for another tournament, unfortunately. We have thought about bringing together like another event, like bringing back Grand Platypus Open or something like that, but yeah, Bappy, we're tapped out, Bappy, we're tapped out. We have too much content. But here we go, we're jumping into our next game. It's again number 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Protoss Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is a Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, himself. It is MilkiCow. Let's go. As once again, MilkiCow going for a double gas opener. This time, of course, MilkiCow playing StarCraft 2. The StarCraft 2 Terran, meanwhile Classic playing Brood War Protoss. Okay. Now, I did mention before that Classic is going to be the favorite player to win the entire tournament. He won the most recent Murloc King strategic event, and again, like Classic, he has been looking very dominant as of late in SE Evo. I say that we have had some newcomers and some new challengers like Solar. Like Solar has surprisingly been playing quite a lot of StarCraft Evolution. I would say Creator, he had a brief stint where he was also playing a decent amount of SE Evo, but I haven't seen Creator play in the last 2 SELs, I think. I don't think Creator was a part of this event. But it does feel like Creator is also interested. So we might see more of him in the near future. Oh my god. As we're going for a 1 base all-in. Double gas into double factory. No CC whatsoever. We have the Marine here to deny the scout, and MilkiCow, he's going to double down. We may pull the boys alongside this. We'll see how committed MilkiCow is going to be. We do have the tech lab into an add-on swap into most likely early Cyclone production for Mass Cyclone. Let's go. The Mass Cyclone on the way. Yo, shout out to Sinisto in the chat. My Santa hats. Yes. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Beautiful. The Santa hats. Amazing. But here come the add-on swaps again. A Mass Cyclone is amassing as we speak. Classic going to be opening up a Dragoon. Do have Dragoon range on the way. This all-in begs to be Brood War Storm. Unfortunately, Storm isn't going to be a factor when it comes to the all-in. It's going to be hitting too soon. But we'll see if Classic sets... I mean, he already has a safety shield battery. True. Battery is up. And MilkiCow is expanding. Never mind. 400 minerals. Yeah, 400 minerals. He is going to be expanding. A very late expansion, though. And even though this, I guess, technically isn't an all-in, it is hyper-aggressive. And these Cyclones have to pay for themselves. They have to pay for themselves. Cyclones are moving out as we speak, and if this fails to get damage done, it will elicit a counterattack, and the late expansion might even be denied. So there's a lot of pressure here on MilkiCow. Let's go. He's moving out. We have a wall of Dragoons waiting for him. Dragoon range is almost done. Shield battery is ready, and he can lock onto one Dragoon. Oh, gets one. Nice control. Classic. He breaks the lock on. He moves out. He's now aware of the mech. Getting one Dragoon. Yeah, they do trade. One Dragoon for one Cyclone. I say that second Cyclone almost goes down. But the scary thing here is that this was a better trade for Classic. At Classic, he's amassing more and more Dragoons. To be fair, we have more Cyclones on the way. Mass Cyclone. Macful accelerators in production. And Classic is going to be supporting with Reavers. So this is just a pretty standard kind of setup here from Classic. Getting into Reaver production. For a moment, I thought the SCV was carrying the hat. So festive, Pappy, so festive. Now, in my mind, I feel like against Mass Cyclone, you still want to work towards Zealot legs. We'll see. We'll see how Dragoons can hold their own against a massive amount of Cyclones. Here come the lock-ons. This time it will not be broken, and these Dragoons, they can go down. And they will. Yeah, they will go down. They're losing 1, 2, 3 Dragoons. But we do see Classic still trying to just brute force it. Yeah, trying to brute force the issue. He does break through the Cyclones. There's 2 Cyclones left. So down to 1 Cyclone. There's 1 tank. And I started stepping on from the Dragoons. Oh my god, the final Cyclone falls. And MilkiCow barely does defend, but this was a costly defense. Remember, the entire game was all about building up that Cyclone count to maintain map control. That has been stripped away, right? That's been stripped away. The goal of the Cyclones, I mean, he has failed in said goal. The racks burned down. He has to rebuild the racks to build more factories. No. That's the risk you take when it comes to floating the racks over. And now here comes the follow-up. Here comes the Reaver drop. Reaver's coming in. Making our way into the mineral line. Shuttle speed about to finish up. There's Gravitic Drive. And the Reaver drops are coming. How well can MilkiCow split? Can he split, Pappy? Can he split? Oh, drop comes in. Ooh, splits are not there. Thankfully, only 2 SCV. Oh no, they're stacking. Getting up to 5. Oh my god. Okay, Cyclone can tank a shot. Can tank 1 at least. Jesus, the lock on. That's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, the Scarab shots are insane. Takes down all the Cyclones. Who wins? 2 Cyclones or a Reaver? The Reaver, Pappy. Oh my god. It's crazy. Yeah, speaking of, he's going to kill another Cyclone. Another Cyclone goes down. GG gets called, and a Classic, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Classic, he will claim the series. He will take it. Again, MilkiCow attempting to play mech both with Brood War and with StarCraft 2. And I will say that there was potential going Mass Cyclone. Unfortunately, he bled out a lot of Cyclones early on, and he was unable to maintain map control. Again, the purpose of going for those Cyclones is to have map control, is to marauder around, is to try to contain and trade with your opponents. But we saw, if not even trade, a greater trade for Classic, where he was able to just bully those Cyclones with the Dragoons. The extra range and the aggressive micro did, of course, assist Classic with that, breaking through breaking through the Cyclones, getting on top of the tanks, and in the end was able to just pull MilkiCow apart. GG. GG well played, impressive play there. High momentum play by Classic. With that, he'll advance on to the next round, and we have plenty more quarterfinal matches to go. Let's go. Up next, we're going to be jumping into a ZVT. Up next is going to be a Zerg's Return matchup between Solar and Kiwian.